I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Yeah, buddy. This is gonna be a drunken podcast. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I just had a Budweiser on America's birthday, and I'm feeling spicy. Is there anything that represents America more than Budweiser? It's super popular, but it's disgusting at the same time. 4th of July here. Go America. I believe America's 241 years old today. And it's the fattest country in the world. Yes, we did it! The fattest country. Whenever Sean and I go on a road trip and I have McDonald's, I just hate myself because that's all there is at rest stops now. Just McDonald's. Just fast food. You know? Hey, Sean, hey, let's go get gas and high blood pressure for $14. you know? It reminds me of that movie Super Size Me, where the guy had McDonald's for all of his meals, and his doctor said, hey, if you keep doing this, you'll die. And the amazing thing was that the psychological effect it had on his body, and it got to the point where he was only happy when he was eating McDonald's. It's amazing. It's amazing how much these types of foods have an effect on you. But yeah, talk about superlatives, huh? Okay, you can't touch us, baby. You can't touch America. You can't. We're the best. Not education, though. We're about number 25. And apparently, 20% of people that graduate high school in the United States can't read. Which, I was shocked at that. Shocked. 20%? I guess it kind of explains a lot of things, but I think like 90% of all porn comes from the United States, too. We have the most rich people and the most gold medals. We have 1,000 gold medals. We also have the highest incarceration rate and highest divorce rate as well. So we got that going for us. You know what's weird? Let's think about something for a second. Now, about Sean and I, he's a good friend of mine. And Sean's white and I'm black. And just think, 40-something years ago, Sean and I couldn't even drink at the same fountain or use the same bathroom. Think about that for a second. Crazy, right? There are people alive today that actually witnessed that craziness firsthand. It's just wild. Wild. By the way, if you want to hear, my 3-year-old loves my Tesla, hey, or hey, this charging infrastructure is fantastic, go to a different channel. All right? There's literally 100 channels like that. Okay, if you want to hear real stuff, like the real deal, like begging friends to leave my cars in their backyards because I want to hide them from my wife, all right, type stuff, not knowing what the hell you're doing type stuff, how am I going to pay for this type stuff, people asking you 1,000 questions, what are the components that make up the Tesla drive unit? I don't know, damn, I don't know. Or, why don't you just buy a regular Tesla instead of a flooded one? They're only $65K used. $65K? That's $1,200 a month. I ain't paying that. Are you crazy? It's a mortgage. You should be ashamed of yourself. Or my favorite types. I just traded my Porsche for a Tesla. I drive a pickup truck with 115,000 miles on it. How can I relate to you in any way whatsoever? Anyways, yeah, I'll be going in multiple directions with this whole thing. So you'll probably say to yourself, yeah, Rich, get to the point. Well, there is no point, and I'll never get there. So joke's on you. All right. Keep waiting. This is a rant. All right. I'm going to rant this entire thing. This is a rant. Prepare yourself. Where did I leave off again? Oh, yeah. Another thing. Don't approach me and say, Rich, I didn't like the content this time. Just get off me, okay? I just had a Budweiser. Okay, a little background on me. I'm a car guy, gearhead, whatever you want to call it. I've loved cars since I was like 3 years old, and now I'm at the point in my life where I can either I can invest in my kids' education or buy sports cars. So I chose the latter, obviously. I've owned a bunch of cars: Z06, SRT8 Jeep, Tesla Model S. I've had BMW, Chevy trucks, Toyota trucks, Hondas, Chargers, 300Cs, you name it. You name it, I've worked on it or driven it. Actually, that's a lie. Because someone's going to say, have you worked on a Datsun? No, I have not. So that's a lie. I have not worked in every car. But I've driven and I've worked on a lot. Okay? Now, the story I want to focus on today is the story of the Tesla. Now, I have a mild attention disorder, so bear with me here. So this story will likely start off good, but it'll eventually derail. So just keep that in mind. Now, I buy Teslas and work on them. I enjoy working on cars, and more recently, I got into electric vehicles, and I got into it a while back. So I'm on Copart, which is a wrecked car website where people buy cars and either park them out or fix them, and they're sold for about 50 to 80% off the original price. And I found this Tesla in Canada, and I'm like, wow, okay, cool, good deal. Phew, I could have the car shipped. Actually, I couldn't have the car shipped because it makes the process a lot more difficult when you're shipping something over country lines. It makes it a lot more challenging. So I was better off getting it myself. So I could use this car. It caught on fire for some projects that I was working on. It was a fire salvage car, and so I could use some parchments for things that I'm working on personally. So a buddy of mine bid for me. He has a dealer's license, and then it went for pretty cheap. So I was set to pick it up. I was like, whoop, whoop. So that's pretty good. Now, a little prep work. The Tesla's super heavy. It's the weight of an SUV, so I knew I was going to pull it with my truck. Okay, and I have a Tacoma V6. It's not really built to handle this kind of stuff or these kind of distances, but whatever. I needed to install airbag suspension that will allow me to support heavier loads in the rear. You get that? Heavy load in the rear? Relax, guys. Perverts. So it allows me to support a heavier load in the bed. And this makes it so that the rear end of the truck doesn't sag when I'm pulling something super heavy. You know, a lot of those cars that aren't built to handle, cars or trucks aren't built to handle certain loads, the rear end sags while it's pulling something. So I installed the airbag suspension, and the night before, I checked everything out. I had about a 10 to 12 hour drive ahead of me, so I brought my jack, my wheel dollies, my power tools, my pillow, my blankie, my laptop, my electric scooter, all that. Yeah, I have an electric scooter, so fight me. I have an electric scooter, all right? Relax. So I brought a light, recovery winch. I could literally pull my truck up a building if I needed to, all right? If my truck somehow landed in the Atlantic Ocean, I could recover it and repair it if I needed to. That's how much stuff I brought with me. So the bed was loaded. So I leave early in the morning. The trailer's on, and I'm humming to Canada, okay? I had a revelation as I was driving there. My passport. Don't have that. No passport. But, you know, I Googled it, and it said if you're a U.S. citizen, you don't need a passport when going to Canada, which was fake news. Okay? That is fake news. Whomst is in charge of the news on the internet? Who's in charge of this? How is this news spreading? Okay? More on that later. So, driving to Canada, I stopped for gas about 900 times because the trailer's heavy and my truck isn't very fuel efficient when it's pulling something. And I'm starving. You know, I had a few snacks in the truck, and I said, screw it, I don't want to stop. I want to make good time, all right? But I was tired. And you don't mess around when you're tired. So I pulled over in, actually, I was north of Buffalo. I was in Buffalo. Was I in Buffalo or north of Buffalo? Wherever I was. So I was in Buffalo. Let me tell you something about Buffalo, all right? Nobody lives in Buffalo. Nobody. It's horses, cows, and they must have evolved to stand upright and use basic tools they made from tree bark, rocks, and wet leaves. to construct small living structures because I saw a few houses there, just no people, okay? All right. Now, my first scare was in Buffalo. My first scare was that I have no service out here, and my phone was like, hey, sorry, man, all the best. Good luck with everything. But thank God I brought my regular GPS. I brought like a TomTom with me, you know? Remember TomToms? Like, where are all the GPS companies now that cell phones are taking over? Like, where's TomTom and Garmin? Are they still around? They still do stuff? So I drove and drove and drove for like 8 hours, and I still had 200 more miles to go. So I truck it along. I get to the border, and this dude is like, hey, where you headed, eh? I'm like, oh, Canadian accents. Oh, my gosh. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go pick up a car. Oh, passport, don't you know? I'm like, oh, I thought I didn't need a passport. Oh, well, you do. Okay. Do you have any drugs, firearms, weapons, 10K cash? I'm like, no. I have none of that. He's like, okay, we gotta search your truck, eh? All right. So I pull over and I give him the key to the truck and I walk into immigration, whatever you have it. And there's a big sign that says no phones allowed. So I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? In this new era of being attached to our phones, like I need a phone. Like if I'm in the bathroom for 3 minutes, I need my phone. I mean, so if there's nothing to read, so I'm sitting there making eye contact and smiling like an idiot. I wore a bad choice of clothes. I had dirty gray sweatpants that's 2 sizes too big. My sneakers were about 9 years old with holes. You know, I should have threw those shoes away years ago. And I had a dirty sweatshirt. I was like a damn vagrant there, okay? And I'm black, okay? So that's icing on that Canadian maple syrup cake right there. That didn't help my matters at all. So they asked me again, hey, do you have any weapons, firearms, money, etc.? I'm like, no. Can I go now, please? They said, sir, are you sure? I said, yeah, get away from me. Yeah. They searched the car for like 20 more minutes. And they called me outside and they said, sir, you're being detained. I'm like, what? Like, sir, you're being detained. I'm like, why? They're like, for the importation of illegal substances. I'm like, what? They're like, sir, we found mace in your car. Ah! Damn it! They found mace in my glove box. Now, I don't know how this mace got there or whose mace it was. It was probably my wife's. I don't even know at this point. It's irrelevant. But they found mace in my glove box. So they called me in a room and they pulled my pants down. Well, they didn't really pull it down, but they had me pull my pants down, take my shirt off, and they went through my wallet. Okay? Let's discuss this fake news thing. If I had my passport on me, I wouldn't have to stop and get searched, okay? Because of this fake news that I was misled by, as a result, I had a finger in my butt. Because some guy posting false information on the internet and me not verifying it. Someone did that to me. Okay? A single finger. Right up my butt. Let's have a moment of silence here. I think it was one finger. When he was done, okay, is he going to buy me dinner? I mean, a phone call or something? Anyways, so yeah, when you're in trouble, when you've officially stepped in poop, the best thing you could do is you could be nice and friendly. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Here's your money. Keep this a secret. Just be really nice, okay? Just general politeness will help you get far. And if you're on a jerk, you get a lot from some people, okay? I mean, so I was super nice. They kept me for another hour, and they're like, hey, you know what? You're good to go, man. Honest mistake. Don't even worry about it. But there is a fee. Oh, geez. Here we go. Yep, there's a fee. They hit me up for a fee, and they set me on my merry way. It's all about the money. I'm telling you, the money. Whatever, I paid the fee, went on my way. Thank you for taking my money and wasting hours of my time, Canada. Okay, boom. Get in my truck. This guy's goes, so hey, I heard you're getting a Tesla. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm like, yeah, I am. He goes, oh, those cars are hard to fix, don't you know? I don't really know why I'm alternating between a Canadian accent and a Minnesotan accent. I'm not really sure. I'm like, listen, I'm like, dude, look at me. I'm dirty, covered in oil, and I have a trailer. A wireless vehicle recovery winch, boxes of tools, jack stands. Does it look like I don't know what I'm doing? Okay? So I replied, haha, yeah, oh, see you later. I hope so. So driving another 160 miles, okay? Still driving, baby. Still didn't get there yet. We're 15 minutes into the story. Bear with me. So I'm in Canada, in Canada. Stop at a gas station. None of my cards work because they think it's fraud, okay? So I pay cash, $20 American, and I get $5 Canadian back and all these coins. I'm like, I can't spend this in the United States. I can't spend this. Okay, whatever. Finally, I get to the place, and there's this nice lady there at the car place. She goes, "Sorry, I can't give you this car, even though you paid for it and you have proper paperwork. You have to go to the Canadian registry to get the car in your name before you can take the car." What? It's 4 p.m. You guys close at 5. Where's the Canadian registry? 20 minutes away? So it's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, and then 20 minutes to hopefully get it done. So I have to haul ass to get there, okay? Right? I race there, wait in line. My number's called. They said, "Oh, cool, yeah, we could do this. Don't even worry about it, dude. It's cool, it's cool." I'm like, "Awesome, all right, cool. Here's my license." And they're like, oh, sir, no, we need a passport. And it was at that moment that I realized I had done messed up. This is the downward spiral to the story. Okay? This started going south at an alarming rate, by the way. Just like a mesmerizing rate. So I'm like, oh, I don't have my passport, but I have my license. They said, oh, welp, sir, welp, we can't do it then. I'm like, stop saying welp, okay? Gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I called Copart, called my dealer guy, I called everyone that I knew. Okay. Talked to Copart. I said, look, guys, I'm 1,000 miles from home. Just please help me, okay? I need to get home. I need to take this car. And again, being nice, she said, you know what? Come back to Copart. I'll see what I could do. Okay? See, when you're nice, good things can happen to you. Thank God. You know, I speed back. She pulls some strings, get the car loaded up in the truck, start my journey home. All right? Everything is cool. Done. The car's loaded. Okay? Driving back. I don't care. I just want to get home. Now, the roads in Canada are awful. When going uphill, the roads seem fine. When going downhill and not accelerating, the roads were bumpy. So I'm driving like that for a few miles, and I'm doing the math in my head. I'm thinking, okay, the roads vibrate when I let off the gas, but they're fine when I accelerate. Vibrate when I let off the gas, but fine when I accelerate. And I finally realized at this point that I am screwed. Totally screwed. Beyond all belief. Okay? I signal to pull over, and I hear the loudest and most terrifying sound screeching in my life. Screeching sound. High-pitched, wailing, screeching sound. And I lost complete control of my truck. Okay? I looked at my rearview mirror, and the car in the back was swaying from side to side, trying to throw me into a ditch. Okay? The Tesla I was pulling with that trailer was swerving side to side. Yes. Yes. All I could see when I looked out of my front windshield was the sky. Do you know why? My absolute worst fear came true. My rear wheel fell off the truck. I was going 50 miles an hour on an unfamiliar road. My wheel fell off the truck. Okay? Now, I thought I was going to die. I'm going to brag here for a minute, okay? Driving 50 miles an hour on the highway and losing a wheel is terrifying. If you can recover from that and not kill anyone, you deserve a trophy. But driving 50 while pulling 7,000 pounds that is trying to kill you at all times and being able to recover from that, I need the keys to the city. All right? I need a Congressional Medal of Honor here. Right? Again, my truck's lifted, so when that rear wheel fell off, all I saw was the sky pretty much. I'm fighting steering, trying to control that weight, and there's a ditch right off the highway. So if the Tesla had fallen into that ditch, it would have dragged me with it. And I would have literally been upside down on my roof. I'd be in rough shape. You know? I mean, I don't know. Whatever. So I'm like, you know what? Woo! I survived. This can't get worse. I opened the door. And if by magic, it must have been magic, I opened my driver's door right after I soiled myself. I'm like, whoa, I'm alive. This is awesome. I can't believe I made... Boom! Wheel going 50 miles an hour smashed into the back of my leg. Yes, you heard that right. After I lost all control of this vehicle, okay, the wheel that fell off smashed into the back of my leg at 50 miles. Who knows how fast it was going? Right? Okay. The wheel literally followed the truck to the side of the road. It was hilarious. Actually, it wasn't hilarious in the least bit. No part of this story is funny. I could have died. But anyways, so, all right. So I find, the back of my knee's all screwed up. I'm limping all over the place. I assessed the damage, and I sheared the wheel studs right off. There was no way to put that wheel back on. Everything was gone. The studs, the lugs, everything was just gone. So I had all the tools in the world, okay, but no studs. I was at the mercy of whatever place I took the truck to. All right? So I don't have AAA. Okay, I don't know where I am. What's the Canadian police number? I don't know. I called U-Haul, and they can only help if something's wrong with the trailer. So I hopped my electric scooter. Again, I brought my electric scooter, and I scooted 3 miles at approximately 10 miles per hour to the nearest rest stop. Now imagine a guy on a scooter on the highway shoulder just scooting by. Like, what? What are you even doing? Okay? Got to the rest stop, saw a tow truck lady. I said, hey, I need help. She's like, hey, you know what? I'm on the job. Should get back to me. All right? So I charged my scooter at the place, gave him my number, scooted 3 miles back, and waited hours in my truck. I mean, it was nightfall, and, sitting at the side of the highway when the semis are whizzing by you at 65 is scary. I mean, it was rocking my truck left and right, but you know what? She showed up. She was a trooper. She showed up, gets my truck loaded, we both get it done. I have the light, I have the tools, I have everything. It's great. I have, I have a jack. She goes, you're well prepared. I was like, yeah, baby, I don't play games. I'm a beast. Of course I'm prepared. Minus the passport and staring death in the face and not checking my vehicle properly prior to towing. But yeah, other than that, yeah, pretty prepared. So, yeah, this is the crazy part. Like, my wife called me. And I'm like, oh, babe, I'm on a business trip. Oh, man, Gary is rocking it. He's a corporate animal. Oh, yeah, my wife didn't know where I was, by the way. So I deserve nothing but the worst that comes to me. Okay, I should have died. Playing a dangerous game, my friend. Like, they could have called my wife and said, hey, ma'am, this is the Canadian police. We found your husband's body in a ditch off the highway. No, that's not my husband. He's on a business trip for work a few minutes away. No, he's in Canada. He lied and he's dead. Come pick him up, please. So anyway, attached to the trailer, okay? She's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, AutoZone? She's like, what's AutoZone? Because literally, I have the tools to fix my truck. I just need a car place where they fix cars, okay? She said, oh yeah, Canadian Tire. I'm like, all right, cool, take me there. So she was super nice. I forget her name, but she had 4 kids. She and her husband were both tow truck drivers. She works part-time as a mail carrier. This is a good old blue-collar ass Canadian working family. Good for them. All right? Drops me to Canadian Tire. We unload the truck at Canadian Tire, which is still open. I make an appointment to have it fixed first thing in the morning. And she drives me to a hotel down the street. And they had a good, like, stranded or, distress rate. It was like $109 Canadian, which is like 11 American dollars. I mean, I could live here. It was so cheap. Stayed the night. Let me tell you something. Stayed the night, right? Now, I'm dead on the inside. I'm your average guy. I'm dead on the inside. Let me tell you something. I have no feelings or emotions, but I sat down in that hotel room and I thought about my kids and my wife, and I genuinely missed them. Normally when I leave the house, I'm like, well, see you guys later. But I thought about them, my kids, and I'm just like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. You know? And I knew how it'd go down, too. I'd walk in the door, the kids would be like, oh, hey, where have you been? And that's really it. They wouldn't even care. Wife wouldn't care either, actually. It's something to think about. So anyways, so I woke up in the morning, scooted back to Canadian Tire at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like a half mile away. They found me new wheel studs at a Toyota dealership. I was like, yeah, boy. Boom. My truck's sitting outside. And I'm waiting. Okay? No one pulls it in. No big deal. Okay? It's 8 a.m. I'm like, okay, no sweat. Go back to the hotel room, chill for 2 hours. Checkout's at 10:30. Go back to Canadian Tire. My truck is still sitting there. It's 11 a.m. And the truck is still sitting there. Okay? So I'm like, hey, can I sit in your lobby like a loser? I said this to the hotel manager, because I have nowhere to go. Is that all right? Can I just sit in your lobby and use your free Wi-Fi? I literally have nowhere to go. So I sat in the lobby like a chump on my laptop. All right? Nowhere to go. Went back there at noon. They just started pulling it in. Mind you, it's been there since 9 p.m. the night before. Okay? Go to the front desk. Hey, what's the ETA? You know? What's going on, guys? The woman at the front desk looked like Danny DeVito. So I knew she was already mad at life, so I didn't even bother talking to her. She was dealt a bad card. I didn't want to piss her off anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll wait it out. So I'm sitting there, and I got a phone call. And it's, oh, shoot. It's someone from the United States. Thank heavens. Okay? I miss people back there. So, as if I wasn't dealing with enough, it was the body shop that I had my Jeep at saying, hey, sir, you need a new front and rear bumper before we could even paint the Jeep. That'd be $2,600, please. I said, oh, God. God, just take me now. I've lived my life. I'm going to call my kids and then subsequently stick my head in the toilet and drown myself. You know how they say God won't give you more than you can handle? Right? What does that mean? Like, what does that, how much worse can this get? Okay? So when I fall into a stress-induced coma, and then I wake up with the IQ of a Snickers bar, then what? Did I finally get more than I can handle? Like, how many dead celebrities are there that died before their time in their 30s? Like Chris Farley, Cobain, Bob Marley was 35. He's pretty much my age. Okay? Where am I going with this? So, okay, sorry. I said to the guys, look, I need to call you guys back. I'm 10 hours from home. I can't deal with this right now. I can't do another $3,000 on top of the cost of penning the Jeep, okay? I can't. I'll call you back. So, this lady heard me. That I was super stressed out over the phone. And a random lady, she's like, hey, I know you've been waiting here a while. I bought you a muffin for your wait. I just got this from Tim Hortons across the street. I'm like, you saint. There is so much good in this world, all right? So I look around, I'm like, wait, there's no Tim Hortons around here. How old is this? I ate it, and it was delish. I ate it anyway. I don't even care. But yeah, there was no Tim Hortons in that area. So I don't know what she was talking about. I don't know if she got it like yesterday or like a few days ago. Who cares? It's a nice gesture. I ate it. I ate that right up. I licked my fingers too. So I'm sitting in the waiting area, and they're like, hey, bro, it's going to be 2 hours before we could look at it. I'm like, I've been here since last night. What are you guys doing? Right? So I go back to the waiting area. Everyone's like talking about how bad the customer service is here. But everyone's Canadian, so they're just being super passive aggressive and like not taking action. I'm like, let's rise up, people. I tell them my story, and they're like, oh, welcome to Coburg. Because that's where I am in Canada. I'm like, what kind of excuse is that? You can't keep saying welcome to Coburg for anything that happens to you. Rise up. This lady asked me how long I've been there for, and I said 9 p.m. last night. Everyone's like, whoa, what happened? I'm like, I have my audience. Get my soapbox out. Okay? I was like, oh, my wheel fell off yesterday on the highway. And this guy goes, oh, that was you? I saw a big cloud of smoke and a car swerving off the road. I'm like, yeah, that was me. He's like, whoa. I pulled over to make sure you were okay, and by the time I circled back, you were gone. I was like, yeah, I went to the gas station. And he's like, oh, man, dude, glad you're okay. I've been here since. I've been here since 9 p.m., And he said to me, welcome to Coburg. Well, I'll be damned. It's like they share the same brain. It's going to take months. I smell like crap. And I decided I'm going to scoot to a local clothing store. Remember, I'm in sweatpants here, all right? I'm in old sneakers, and maybe people aren't taking me seriously because I look homeless. So let's change that. Buy some new threads. Bam! I scoop my way over to some Canadian clothing store, right? Got some pants, got a sweatshirt. I'm like, screw it. I'll get some hiking shoes too. I'm a hiker, by the way, Get some fresh hiking shoes, okay? Some shopping, and one of the ladies that work there, what brings you to Coburg? I'm like, oh, I'm stranded. My car's a Canadian Tire. She goes, oh, well, you should take it somewhere else. They have bad customer service there. I took my car there and they broke it. Now, here's what I feel about this is what I feel when someone gives me unsolicited advice, because I do it all the time. But when I give unsolicited advice, I'm cute and funny and it's adorable, okay? But when someone gives me advice, it bugs me, especially when I can't do anything about it. And I asked her, how can I move it? The wheel fell off the wheel fell off the truck. She goes, call a tow truck and bring it to this other place 28 miles down the road. I'm like, okay, you're irrelevant now. You have just become irrelevant to me. I will no longer speak to you. Can you hand me my damn shoes so I get out of here, please, lady? Thank you. So I leave the store. I'm on the scooter, get back to Canadian Tire, right? Get to the door, and I'm pissed. My truck isn't ready, right? I'm flared up. I'm ready to go, okay? Guy opens the door. I get off my scooter. The guy goes, hey, man, why don't you buy a real car? They don't fix those scooters here. Ha ha, yeah. Why don't you kill yourself, buddy? Just kill yourself, okay? So, walk into the shop, flash a smile at the front desk lady. I ask the status of my truck, and she says, oh, it's done. I'm like, awesome! It's 4 p.m. I have an 8-hour drive, okay? I have an 8-hour, with no trailer. I have 8 hours ahead of me. So probably 10 plus hours, easily. Thank you for taking it first thing in the morning like you promised. Give me my damn keys. All right, get in my truck. The bill comes to like $129 Canadian, which is about 38 cents American. And I would have paid $1,000 to have it done on time. But whatever. Okay, whatever. I'm in my truck, driving back. I'm super tired. So I pulled into an abandoned parking lot to sleep. I just had to sleep. You don't play games when you're sleeping. When you're sleepy and you're tired, you just don't play games. And I pulled into the abandoned parking lot. And if there's one good thing that came from this trip, it's that I did not get raped in that parking lot, which was good. Okay? And it was good. It was a good trip. That's a positive thing. So I woke up, drove some more hours, got in the United States of America. Okay? This is going to be good. All right? I have a car that was obviously torched. It looks very suspect. It's God knows what, 3 a.m. I pull him to the border, right? The guy goes, "Hey, what's up, man? What is that thing?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's a burned up car." He goes, "Haha, man, where you from?" I'm like, "Boston, man." He's like, "Haha, have a nice day." Literally nothing. No friction. Didn't ask to see my passport. No documentation on the car. The car could have been filled with 9 illegal immigrants. Okay? Didn't check a thing. That's why I love America. This is America. All right? Making good time to Sean's house because the car's staying there, right? We had no way of getting out of the trailer. I said, screw it. You know what? I'm going to tie it to a damn tree, chain to the car, other side of the chain around the tree, and just drive off. Okay? Work like a charm. Right? So as we're yanking this car off with the whole tree and the chain method, right? I managed to step in the biggest pile of dog feces up to my ankles. I don't know what kind of dogs that Sean has, but it was massive, right? I was like, you know what? Ain't a thing. I'm not even mad. You know why? I have new shoes, baby. It's all good. Open up the box, right? Try them on. 2 sizes too small. $137 on hiking shoes that I can't return. Welcome to Coburg.